Well, a lot of you in class today were doing a super job with this, but in case you want to look any more at how to practice taking 2 points and going from those points to finding the slope, to finding the y-intercept, and then later on calculating the x-intercept, this could be helpful for you. I hope it is. So let's start out with two constants, two coordinate points that are just going to be constants, just so we get the sense again that we know how to do this. So let's say we have the point 2, 7, and we have the point 4, 23. So what the first thing we do that Jesse showed us today, is we do that y sub 1 minus y sub 2 over x sub 1 minus x sub 2. Or please feel free to go back to your table, or you can use this in relation to that 2, 7, and 4, 23, and you're calculating the change there. So you're going up 2 in your x, you're going up 16 in your y. So you'd find the same thing here. We would do 23 minus 7, and then we would do 4 minus 2, which is exactly the same things we were doing over here. And then we end up in both cases getting 16 over 2, which is 8. So that means I have a slope, or an m, of 8. So now I'm going to use my equation that I just think is the best for now, and I'm going to use y equals mx plus b, and I'm going to plug in my m, and I'm going to take this point. I could take either one, but the numbers are smaller, so I'm going to go with that one. So I'm going to have 7 equals 8 times 2 plus b. So that means I have 7 equals 16 plus b. Subtract 16 from both sides, and b is equal to negative 9. So that means my equation is going to be y equals 8x minus 9 in order to find my x-intercept. So I'm just going to write this over here. My x-intercept is when, every single time, is when y is equal to 0. So I take my equation, this y equals 8x minus 19, and I instead use a y value of 0. So 0 equals 8x minus 9. I add 9 to both sides. I get 9 equals 8x. I divide by 8. So it is x equals 9 over 8. So that's telling me that when my y is 0, or when, another way of saying it is when I have an x-intercept, my x value is 9/8 and my y value is 0. The next slide I'm going to walk you through the same thing, but this time I'm going to, instead of using numbers, these constants, we're going to use variables instead. Alright, let's try this. So I'm going to try 3, 2g plus 5, and I'll use 5, 2g plus 11. Looks different, behaves the same way, which is so awesome for us. You guys are so great at doing the work with constants, just a little bit more abstract, same exact thinking. So change in y over change in x. So I have my 2g plus 11, and from that I'm going to take away 2g plus 5. And I'm going to do 5 minus 3, and then I just subtract. Sorry, that 5 looks like an S. So when I simplify, I get 2g plus 11 minus 2g minus 5 with the distributive property there. My denominator is 2. When I look at this, the g's drop out, so I'm left with just 6 over 2. That's telling me that my slope for this problem is 3. So that means every time my x value is going up by 1, my y value is going up by 3. Now let's find the y-intercept, which again, we're just going to go back to our y equals mx plus b that we know so well. Y equals mx plus b. So we have a y, I'm going to take this one here just because it's smaller, relatively speaking. I have 2g plus 5 equals 3 from this 3 over here, our slope, and then this 3 here from our x value plus b. 2g plus 5 equals 9 plus b. I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides, and when I get to that, I get 2g minus 4 equals b. So now I know I have this equation that's going to work for us. That's y equals 3x plus 2g minus 4. Now back to our x-intercept, because this seems to be the part that we need to think about the most carefully. This is when our y value is 0. I go back to this equation that I had here, and instead now of having a y, I have a 0 there. So 0 equals 3x plus 2g minus 4. I want to isolate my x. So I'm first going to subtract 2g from both sides, and I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So those things cancel out. And I'm left with negative 2g plus 4 equals 3x. Now to get my x by itself, I am going to divide everything by 3. So x is equal to negative 2g plus 4 over 3. And I am done. You can keep doing other things to that, but this is finished. So this is telling us that in our equation, we have a slope of 3. Our equation for the whole thing is y equals 3x plus 2g minus 4. Our y-intercept is just this 2g minus 4 part. And our x-intercept is this negative 2g plus 4 over 3. As we saw today in class, another possibility that would be exactly the same would be as if I found the opposite of the numerator and the opposite of the denominator. So the opposite of the numerator would be 2g minus 4, and the opposite of the denominator would be negative 3. All right, just keep practicing. If you have any questions, post them on Edmodo. Have a great weekend.